Welcome back. It is the start of a new year, and it's the perfect time to set some resolutions for your financial future. And here with 4 financial resolutions for 2012 is investment advisor Craig Ferrantino. Craig, I need some help. I know a lot of my friends need some help as well. Now, you say the new year is the perfect time to take a look at where you are financially.
Yes, January actually comes from the Latin word for doorway.
All right.
So one of the things that you could start, we like to tell someone like yourself to do, is that you want to check your credit report first, Aaron. You want to see if there's any inaccuracies on there. You wouldn't believe some of the things that might be reported on there. In addition to that, there's been a lot of identity theft, particularly more in the last year. So you get a free annual credit report every year. You can run the 3 agencies and see what's actually being reported on you. And then start to challenge some of the inaccuracies if there are some.
Now, do you feel people do that? Do a lot of people check up on that?
Yeah, sometimes when they're applying for a mortgage or a car loan or something like that, that's when they check it and they realize it may take them 6 months or a year to work out some of their issues.
Right. Now, you have 4 basic tips that you feel everybody should follow. Right.
The first one is to follow credit report. Second is that I think it's very important right now is to be able to also pay yourself first, because pre-tax contributions to your 401k for 2012 have now actually gone up to $17,000. They were at $16,500. So you may have to contact your HR director at your company to say, hey, look, I'd like to contribute so I can max out on my 401k for this year. And of course, if you're over 50, you get a $5,500 pre-tax catch-up contribution.
Wow.
So your actual contribution for the year could be $22,500 if you're over 50. The other thing we like on that paying yourself first is that we want to make sure that also people have the ability, if a company gives you a match, to meet the match and do better than the match. So if there's a 10% match, but you're only putting in 4%, well, you're leaving money on the table. You're getting 100% return on your money when you could actually match what the company does.
Do you find that people want to contact you just, you know, to pay attention to what's going on with them financially, or are they in crisis mode and then they decide to contact you?
A lot of people are in survival mode and then we hear about it later. And we said, well, did anybody mention this to you last year or whatever, that you could do this, and they don't see those strategies. So that was 2. And then the third thing that we like to see is that people create an emergency fund. 2011 we see was a tough year for some people, and so we want to make sure that they have, 3 to 6 months of salary, depending on if they're married. It would be 3 months. If they're not married, 6 months of salary. So that in case there's something that the incalculable comes up. So that's very important, because a lot of people are tapping into credit. When you tap into credit, that's when you're spending a lot of money, and so it's costing you more for that money. More importantly, the Consumer Protection Act now raised the credit card limits. And you would think consumer protection would go lower. It used to be 24.9%. Guess what it is now? Tell me. 29.9%.
Wow.
You can actually get that on your credit card.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think people know that?
Well, if you're paying 30% interest, eventually
that's insane. That's actually insane.
Crazy. You think Consumer Protection Act. There you go.
Wow.
And then the last thing we'd like to recommend that our people do is very important, is to take a look at your investments. We're not investing we're investing to make money. We're not investing to hold stuff. And a lot of times I'll see people in our practice come in and they say, well, we bought this a long time ago. It's obviously gotten a lot less. Are you investing? Are we collecting things? It reminds me of that show Hoarders. Some people's portfolios are just, they just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, let's make sure in the long-term strategy that these companies look positive. So it's all very, very important for the new year.
Craig, thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to take a look at your tips, and you can do that. For more information, just log on to our website, WTNH.com, and you can click on the Good Morning Connecticut segment, and there we'll have Craig's tips. I'm looking at Steve, and now I'm looking at Craig. But now I'm going to toss